King Charles has been on the throne for a year now, following the death of his mother Queen Elizabeth II on September 8, 2023. It started off with a moving, perfectly delivered speech to the nation in the immediate aftermath of the Queen's death, but went slightly awry when he had a tantrum over a pen in front of the world's media. The first few weeks, however, were not easy, and he held the royal family and the country together when we needed him most. Ensuring her funeral and the preceding events went off without a hitch. The months that followed have been characterized by a flurry of family dramas, with the publication of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Netflix docuseries, Harry's explosive memoir, and Prince Andrew's attempts to return to the royal frontline. The ousting of Queen Elizabeth's former close confidant and dresser Angela Kelly also made headlines and further distracted from the person at the helm, King Charles. Don't miss heartbreaking final pictures of Queen Elizabeth II on this day last year. But what has he actually accomplished this year? He may have steered the ship through a tumultuous time. A change in reign is never easy, especially after losing someone so widely adored, but other than the coronation, nothing else springs to mind. The only time he headed abroad was to Germany, with his first trip to France postponed due to the violent demonstrations taking place at the time, and many have criticized him for not prioritizing Commonwealth nations in his first year. He has managed to squeeze in trips to all four nations of the UK and visited various corners of the country, including York, Wrexham, Manchester and St Ives, but that's part and parcel of a monarch's job, and it's doing very little to quell the turning tide of public opinion against the monarchy. Polling by YouGov shows that in July 2012 3/4 of Britons, 75%, said we should continue to have a monarchy, but this figure is falling. By April 2020 this had fallen to 64%, before rising to 70% come October, having been buoyed by the Queen's vocal support to the public during the COVID-19 pandemic. In the aftermath of the Queen's death last September the figure was at 67%, and the most recent survey in August 2023 found it has fallen slightly to 62%. But the most worrying findings is the split in generations, as just 3 in 10 18-24-year-olds think the royal family is good for Britain, with 40% preferring an elected head of state. By contrast, a majority of the elders support the royals, including 80% of the over 65s. Don't miss Queen Elizabeth's emotional promise she kept right up until the day she died. Latest, impossible for Prince Harry to meet with King Charles this week. Details: 3 rules Harry and Meghan must obey to stay relevant, but they're failing. Insight: the lack of support from younger people is significant, as in 2012 almost 3/4 of 18 to 24-year-olds backed the monarchy. These are figures that must surely concern the palace. The King's approach, however, appears to be to roll out the Prince and Princess of Wales, who are 2 of the most popular members of the royal family owing to their ability to keep the firm relevant and grounded. Kate is the one with all the draw. Whenever she's out her pictures go on the front page and people flock to catch a glimpse of her. Whereas when the King and Queen step out, the visit, no matter how important or pressing, rarely makes waves. However, his approach cannot simply be to rely on the pull power of the Waleses to get him through. He needs to work on his own appeal and relationship with the people. At 74 this isn't easy, but a few trips to Commonwealth nations and the launch of an initiative or 2 for the public to get behind would help show the public that he's more than just a symbolic figure keeping the seat warm for his son. while Palisades are furious at the idea that the king is simply a caretaker for William and are keen to point out that he has own agenda of climate, community, commonwealth and culture. Without action it's hard for that image to be dispelled.